Hey friends, it is Jenna, what is up, and welcome back to the Board Game Garden. Hello, hello. Welcome to the games that I played solo during the month of November, which I'm doing this out of order. Typically I do the main what we played in November video first, and then I do the solo video, but I'm gonna switch it up this time just because I'm feeling crazy and want to switch it up. So today we are going to be going over, I believe, 5. I thought there was 6. I might actually be missing a game. Please hold. So I've checked my list, and it is because one of the games that I played solo is behind me and I didn't want to get it off the shelf. But yes, that is going to be everything for the intro. If you guys want to see what I played solo and what I enjoyed solo in the month of November, just keep on watching and let's get into today's video, shall we? So the first game that I played, I will add before I get into these that November was like not one of our best months, probably one of our worst months actually for playing, just because we've been so busy. I've been busy with work. We also went to California. When we got home from California, both Francis and I got COVID, so we were pretty much out of any gaming for like a week or so. And it is now the end of November. It's actually, I think, like December 1st right now. But yeah, the month went by so fast and it is already December already. But anyways, the first game that I played was pretty early on in the month, and that is Cartographer's Heroes. I've chatted about Cartographers and Cartographer's Heroes quite a bit on the channel. I actually do have a full review on both Cartographers and Cartographer's Heroes solo up on the channel. I will put it in one of these corners for you guys to check out. It was one of the, like, in a set of 3 solo reviews that I do. I want to do more of those, so keep an eye out for those in 2023, where I do like solo reviews for 3 different games in one video. But I chatted about it a little bit there, but the main reason why I played this in November is because I wanted to start playing a lot of the Cartographer's map packs. They actually have 6 different map packs. This is map pack number 1. So I'm starting off with number 1 and then I'm going to go through all of them. Basically, both Cartographers and Cartographer's Heroes, they generally play the same. Cartographer's Heroes does add in hero cards, which allow you to kind of mitigate the like monster cards. I think they're called ambush cards. It allows you to mitigate those and use heroes to kind of get rid of some of those or defend against some of those. So I really enjoy both of those. And the map packs can be played with both Cartographers and Cartographer's Heroes. And yeah, so the first one that I played was Neblis, which, by the way, Cartographers is published by Thunderworks Games and designed by Jordi Adin and John Breerger, I believe is how you pronounce his last name. But yeah, this one is Neblis. This is the first map pack, like I mentioned. They have 6 of them, and basically they all just add in a few different things. Some add in some cards, some add in some like additional things, and it's just really fun to kind of stick with that base game of Cartographers, but then add in some fun, challenging things. So basically with Neblis, you add in a volcano, and there are volcano cards. When you flip over a volcano card, you have to add in that shape around the volcano, and you have to X out those spaces. So it's kind of like the volcano has erupted, and the spaces around the volcano you cannot build anything. They're kind of like a no-go space. So yes, I also got some of the Cartographer's pencil crayons, which if you guys did not know, they actually have pencil crayons that you can use for Cartographers, which I did not know. They also have a like neoprene mat and everything. All of that stuff is up on the Thunderworks website. But I played with both the mat and the pencil crayons and the map pack, and it has just been a lot of fun. So yes, that is the first game that I played. If you're not familiar with Cartographers, it is a flip and write, where basically there are 4 different seasons, and each season you are scoring for 2 of the 4 different objectives, and you're flipping over these cards that give you a certain polyomino shape that you have to draw into the map, which, like I showed you guys here, I did, and there are a bunch of different types of terrain or different things. There's forest, there's water, there's desert, there is the monsters, like I mentioned, as well as villages. And I think that is everything. There are 6 different colors, I believe, or 5 different colors. I think there's 5 different colors, but Absolutely love cartographers. It is just like one of my favorite roll and writes. It is a staple for me, and it is great solo. So that is everything for cartographers and the first map pack that I tried out. Moving on to the second game. The second game is actually another roll and write or flip and write, and this is one that I have chatted about before as well, but I ended up playing a few games of Dungeons, Dice, and Danger. This is probably one of my favorite releases from 2022, which, by the way, I will be doing a video probably like right before the new year or shortly after the new year, where I count down my top 10 games that were released in 2022. I'm very excited to do all these videos. I'm also going to be doing a top 10 favorite solo games from my first year of solo gaming, which 2022 is when I discovered solo gaming. So I'm very excited to do that one as well. I've been planning out those two videos and I'm real pumped. But Dungeons, Dice, and Danger, a little bit of a spoiler, is probably going to be on both of those lists. I freaking love this game. It is so much fun. I ended up doing the third map. There are 4 different maps that you can do. Basically in Dungeons, Dice, and Danger, it is a like dungeon crawler, but also a roll and write where you are rolling dice, and then you have 4 die that you can add up in a few different ways. You're adding 2 and 2, and you can do whatever combination of those 4 dice into 2 pairs, and you are putting those or using those numbers to scratch off different sections of the dungeon, and you're making these paths throughout the dungeons to get to certain monsters, and you're needing to roll certain numbers to hit those monsters and eventually defeat the monsters. You're trying to get gold, or I guess they're like gems as well, and it is just a good one. There are 4 different maps, like I said, and each map kind of brings in something a little bit different. And so I ended up doing the third map like twice. It is the like dinosaur one, I believe. No, it was the Egyptian one. I did that one a few times and it was a lot of fun. The only one that I have left to do is the dinosaur one. So yes, that is Dungeons, Dice, and Danger. This is designed by Richard Garfield and published by Ravensburger or Aaliyah. And this was like just one of my favorite games this year. It's been so much fun. Such a good roll and write. So that is number 2. Moving on to game number 3. This is a very, very small game, but I actually ended up playing this solo at the airport when we were traveling there and home from California. And this is from Button Shy Games. This is Sprawlopolis, which this is my first ever game from Button Shy Games that I got to play. It's basically a little wallet game where all of their games consist of 18 cards, and a lot of their cards have like different ways of using them, and it's like amazing how much game that they can put into 18 cards. But Sprawlopolis is probably one of their most well-known games. It can be played up to 4 players, but you can also play it solo. I got a bunch of other games from them as well. They've just recently restocked a bunch of Button Shy games on the Board Game Bliss website, and I picked up Sprawlopolis along with 4 other solo-only games. There's Rove, Food Chain Island, Unsurmountable, and Ugly Griffin Inn. Those are the other 4. Those ones are all solo only, but Sprawlopolis is one that you can play up to 4 players. And basically in Sprawlopolis, you have cards that are double-sided. One side has different objectives that you're trying to do, then the other side has these like city blocks that are typically split into 4 different colors. You have, I believe, parks, residential, commercial, and industrial. I believe those are the 4. You actually have 3 cards in your hand. At the beginning of the game, you do pick out 4 different or 3 different objectives that you're trying to do throughout the game, but then you're also choosing on your turn 1 from the 3 cards that you have in your hand. You're placing that down in a little town tableau that you're building, and then you're picking up a new one, and every single turn you are placing one down and picking up a new one, and you're trying to create different like sections of the colors. You're trying to create the biggest groups of all of those because you're going to score, I believe, for the biggest group in each color, if I'm not mistaken. And then you're also scoring negative points for each road. So you're trying to connect a road as long as possible so that super long road is only counted as 1 negative point. So it's this cool balance of trying to create long roads, but then also creating big groups of all of the different colors, and then you're also scoring for different objectives as well. And every single one of the 18 cards has a different objective on the back side, and you are only choosing 3 of those, and then the rest of them are going into your town. So it's really, really replayable, such a fun little puzzle, and that is Sprawlopolis. I am very, very excited to dive into the button shy world. So many people love these little card games. They're great for travel. Obviously, I brought them to California, so they're easy to travel with, and a lot of them are just fun, great puzzles to do. So yes, that was number 3. Sprawlopolis. Moving into game number 4, this was the one that I mentioned was behind me on the shelf, but I've actually moved it to beside me so that I can show you guys. But I do believe that I just recently talked about Flamecraft on last month's monthly solo wrap-up, so I'm not going to talk about it too much, but I played Flamecraft again solo, I believe twice in November. Once was just on my own, and then another time I played on live stream over at the Board Game Garden on Twitch, which if you guys do not know already, I do stream. I live stream on Tuesdays with Francis and then solos on Sundays. I always have the link to the Twitch down below, but I do want to start streaming more on Twitch in 2023, so yes, very excited for that. Definitely go check it out. Give us a follow over there. But Flamecraft, I did end up live streaming, and this is a game that I have been really, really loving. Again, this is a game that was published in 2022, and you guys might be seeing it on some lists at the end of the year. So Flamecraft is published by Cardboard Alchemy as well as Lucky Duck Games, and it is designed by Manny Vega, and the art is so amazing. It is by Sandra Tang, and oh my goodness, I love this art so much. I want it on everything. I want to tattoo one of these adorable dragons on my body, and that is saying something. So anyways, in Flamecraft, you are working with artisan dragons, and you are moving. It's a worker placement kind of game, resource management, where you are placing your dragon at one of these different shops. You're getting resources, and then you also have a hand of dragon cards. And when you go to a certain shop, you can place one of those artisan dragons at that shop, and then you can fire a dragon, which means you can use their ability to do different things in the shops. You can move dragons from one shop to another. You can use a dragon to get more resources. And then with those resources, you are doing enchantments, which can be added to a shop to get more resources at that shop, and also get you points, and you're just trying to get the most points at the end of the game. And there are fancy dragons and artisan dragons, and they're the cutest things in the world. I just recently got some of the deluxe components as well, which huge shout out to Lucky Duck Games for sending me those, as well as this game as a whole. I really appreciate it. And Flamecraft has been a really, really special part of 2022 for me. I love this game, and I'm excited to chat about it more and play it more. So that is Flamecraft. Absolutely love it solo. It's super easy to play solo as well. I just love when solo implementations are literally just the solo AI takes their turn, it just blocks you from a spot, and that is pretty much it. That is all that the dragons are doing, or the solo AI dragons are doing in this game. And they're also taking some of the enchantment cards, so it kind of, because the enchantment card deck is kind of like the countdown to the end of the game, they're taking some, so it's kind of speeding up the end of the game and you trying to get as many points by the end of the game. So yes, absolutely love an easy solo AI, and Flamecraft has that. So that is game number 4. That is Flamecraft. Moving into game number 5. This is a game that was over here. Now it has been replaced by Meadow, which I'm very excited to play that one solo as well. Just recently got that one. I actually purchased it for myself for my birthday, which when this video goes up, this will probably go up on the 3rd, and my birthday is tomorrow. If you're watching this on the day that it is uploaded, my birthday is on December 4th, so purchased Meadow for myself for my birthday. Rebel Studios also sent me the expansion, so huge thank you to them. Very excited for that, but I didn't have the base game, and I was like, oh no, I have the expansion, but I don't have the base game. Guess I have to give myself or purchase myself the base game for my birthday. But anyways, the game that I'm talking about that was up here before is Obsession, and I ended up playing Obsession solo, actually on stream as well, just this past weekend. And oh my goodness, this game is really starting to build up, and I love this a lot more than I initially did when I first played. I just actually won my first game on BGA, which I'm very happy that I did that. We are, you know, showing progress, we're getting better, and it is just a lot of fun. I really enjoyed the solo. The solo in Obsession is super easy, where it just has a chart of the solo AI and what number of points they're going to be getting each, what is it called, courting phase. In Obsession, if you do not know, you are trying to be the most prestigious and popular family of all of the families around, and you are hosting events and bringing in guests and stuff, and each courting phase you have an opportunity to get some victory points as well as get one of the Fairchilds, which is a card that you can get into your hand that you can use during that round until the next courting phase. And the way that you do that is that you have the most points in the specific themes that the Fairchilds are looking for. So yes, the AI pretty much just has how many points they have in each of the theme categories. So you're kind of just looking at that and making sure that you at least have that or more in order to get a Fairchild or some victory points. And then you also roll for what tile they're going to take, and that is pretty much it. That is all that you do on the AI's turn, and then it's back to you, and it is just so easy, and I really enjoyed this. It has a bunch of different difficulties that you can do. I started off with like the easiest of the easy beginner AIs, but you can go up to like expert, where you're trying to get like a big amount of points. But I did manage to beat the AI, which was awesome. And this game, like I said, is really growing on me, and I am so happy that it is, because I was very sad when I played this for the first time and I didn't enjoy myself as much as I did, but it's definitely grown on me. This is published by Canon Games and designed by Dan Halligan. He's a wonderful human, and yes, Obsession was one of the games I really enjoyed in the month of November. And lastly, we have a very exciting game that I was so excited to be able to try. When this video goes up, which I believe this video is going to go up on December 3rd, this game would have just been released and announced on December 2nd, and the game that I am talking about is my Lil Everdell. I am so excited about this. This is available now on the Tabletop Tycoon website. I believe that's like the official website of Starling Games, which is the publisher of Everdell, all of the Everdell games, as well as this one now. And this is designed by James A. Wilson, as well as his wife, Clarissa Wilson. And this is basically a standalone, more simplified, easy version of Everdell that can be played by kids, which I think is amazing. A more easier and streamlined game. Like I said, I've always considered Everdell more of like a next step game, like a game if you've been, you know, playing some simple games and you want to get into the hobby a little bit more. I believe the base game of Everdell is amazing. You can even add more to it with all of the expansions, but this right here is just an even more simplified version of that, where basically on your turn you get to place a worker. Everyone starts with 3 workers. Everyone gets 3 workers every single round. There are 4 different rounds, and that is it. You just place your 3 workers, you place them on different spots for resources, and then on that turn, because in the base game of Everdell, you have to do everything on separate turns. So if you want to place a worker to get resources, you can do that, but you cannot on the same turn purchase a card. If you purchase a card, that's like the only thing that you can do on your turn. So it's always that, like, do I get more resources this turn? Do I, you know, hold back on like placing my workers, and do I purchase a card at this time? So in this one, you are just doing everything on your turn. You're placing a worker, getting resources, having an opportunity to get a card, and then you can also get different objectives. So there are, you know, once you get 5 critters, you get a parade, which is a card that gets you different victory points, or once you create or build one of each different type of card, you get a parade for that. So it's just a really simplified version of Everdell that I think is amazing. Like I said, you can play it solo as well, and the solo variant is super easy. You're either going against the prince or the princess. The prince just basically blocks you from different resource spots, and then the princess, actually you roll a die and that is the card that you take, but then she also takes the spot in the meadow. Oh, I should also mention that in this game, you do not have cards in your hand. You only purchase from the meadow. So the solo AI for the princess, she's pretty much just taking a spot of a card. So as the round goes on, you have less and less spots in the meadow that you can purchase a card from. The prince also takes a card, but it gets replenished after, whereas with the princess, it does not. So I love that they offer two different styles of the solo variant. And I think this one, even though I don't have children, I don't play with kids very often, I'm very happy to have this in the collection just as an easier to get to the table version of Everdell. I think it is amazing. Sometimes, actually, fun fact, I've never gotten Everdell to the table solo because sometimes I just don't, or most of the time, I don't want to get like a big game to the table. It takes a lot for me to, you know, sit down and read the rules for a solo variant, set up this big game. I think this is a great option for if I want to experience the feel of Everdell but not have that huge setup and huge gameplay. Like, this box is super thin, it doesn't take up as much spot on your shelves, and it doesn't take as long to set up and learn, and it's just a simple little version of Everdell that you can play on your own or with your kids, with your family, with other adults. Honestly, I feel like adults would still enjoy this one as well. But yes, that is my little Everdell. Thank you so much to Sterling Games for reaching out and allowing me to try out that game. I really, really enjoyed it. Definitely go check it out if you're at PAX Unplugged. They have it there. But if not, they do have available, like I said, on the tabletop Tycoon website. But anyways, that is going to be everything for today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed seeing all the games that I played solo in the month of November. I feel like this month there wasn't a ton of solo games that I played, but all of the games that I played this month I really, really enjoyed, which makes me very happy. I'm excited to play some more solo games. I just got in a bunch of games that I'm super excited to play solo, including Meadow. We also have Wayfarers of the South Tigris. I think in 2023, I would love for you guys to let me know. I guess you can do it now too. Let me know down in the comments, one, what solo games you played in November. I would love to know. But also, what games do you guys think I should play solo next month? Please let me know. I would love any sort of recommendations for great solo games, games that you see behind me that you think I should play solo, games that you think I should have in my collection to play solo, anything like that. Definitely let me know down below. I love chatting with you guys. And yeah, I love you guys so much. Remember, you are somebody's reason to smile, and I will see you in the next board game video. Bye, friends.